What's going on, everyone? Today we are going to be talking about running back hot takes. Hot takes at the running back position from least spicy to spiciest. So if you want to see the spiciest take, be sure to stay tuned till the very end. Before we hop into it though, if you guys could, go down, drop a like on the video. I'm answering every comment. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And subscribe to the channel. It's the #1 way to support me. It's completely free. It would mean the absolute world to me, guys. We did just hit 300. I said thank you in my last video. I'm going to say it again. Thank you guys all so much. Without you guys, I would not be doing this, so thank you. With that out of the way, though, let's hop into it with our first hot take, and that is that James Conner finishes as a top 10 running back.
What a catch by Conner! And James Conner is in!
And now, I know what you guys are thinking. If this is the lightest take, what the heck is the spiciest take? Well, be sure to stay tuned to find out. Either way, James Conner, someone who I think is criminally slept on right now over on Underdog Fantasy. He's the running back 27, going behind guys like Isaiah Pacheco, Cam Akers, Rachaad White. And personally, I understand why you would take those guys above James Conner, but I would rather have James Conner than most of those players. James Conner, somebody who year in and year out has gotten the job done, finishing as a top 10 running back in his career twice, and finishing as the running back 19 last season, again, despite missing 4 games and having Kyler out for part of the season. But even with Kyler out, James Conner was just as good, if not better. As from weeks 10 to 17, when Kyler was primarily dealing with his injury, James Conner was the running back 4 in all of fantasy football, a borderline league winner at the position. And while this is somebody who might not be able to have the ceiling to be the running back 1 in all of football, because a lot of what he does is predicated on high touchdown volume, he does have the ability to go out there and be a top 10 running back, as he's done on a points per game basis each of the last 2 seasons. So I'm fine going out and grabbing James Conner as my running back 3 or my running back 2 on these underdog rosters, simply because he is such a good runner. And not only that, he was great without Kyler Murray, and he was great with Kyler Murray. Without Kyler Murray, again, he was phenomenal being the running back 4. And with Kyler Murray, he was just as good, if not better, finishing over the course of a full season as the running back 5, having 18 total touchdowns. There are question marks with James Conner. He is 28 years old. He might now be washed at the NFL level, but there is nobody else in this backfield to say that James Conner is washed. You have Keontae Ingram and Tyson Williams. None of these guys are taking volume from James Conner at this current moment, and I don't think it will be that way throughout the entire year. James Conner, a phenomenal underdog player, somebody who I highly recommend going out and drafting over on Underdog Fantasy. Either way, that's it for James Conner being a top 10 running back. Let me move on to my next player, and that is that Bijan will finish as the running back 1 in all of fantasy football.
Gives it to Bijan. Bijan thinking house.
And yeah, this really isn't that crazy of a take right now over on Underdog Fantasy. He's coming off as the running back 2. But I think there is so much in line for Bijan to finish as the running back 1. The running back 1. Not a running back 1, the running back 1. I think that Bijan Robinson goes into an offense where they're going to run the ball down your throat. This Arthur Smith-led offense that is consistently been above average in run rate. I mean, Arthur Smith has finished 2nd, 3rd, and 2nd throughout the course of his career with Derrick Henry and then with Tyler Algier last season. So I think they're going to run the ball down your throat, and Bijan Robinson is simply a much better running back than Tyler Algier. And Tyler Algier was still able to finish as the running back 22 in standard scoring, despite not being able to get the reins to the offense right away. And despite really not catching the ball at all, only having 17 targets, Bijan Robinson can catch the ball significantly better than Tyler Algier, and is a significantly better running back than Tyler Algier, who averaged 4.93 yards a carry in this offense that has a pretty good offensive line. Overall, to sum up my case on Bijan, we're in an offense that loves to run the ball down your throat, with a great offensive line, a head coach that just drafted him 8th overall, and Bijan Robinson is one of the most talented running backs we've seen since Saquon Barkley. I mean, this is a guy who had over 100 missed tackles, which is the first time that's happened in the PFF era. Bijan Robinson's a great running back. I can't necessarily say I'm taking him here at the running back 2, but he has the ceiling to finish as the running back 1 in all of fantasy football. But either way, let's move on to my second spiciest take, and that is about Alexander Mattison.
But it's going to be Mattison. Mattison slips through. Mattison stays on his feet and scores!
And now this is recorded before June 1st. This probably will go up May 25th or something around there. So this is recorded before Dalvin Cook officially gets traded, or if he even gets traded at all. And I think Alexander Mattison could easily take over this Dalvin Cook role in this offense, which I think would be great for Alexander Mattison. Man, Alexander Mattison has come in and did nothing but perform when Dalvin Cook was out, averaging almost 80 rushing yards a game and another 36 receiving yards per game. So he is stepping into an elite offense where he is going to be getting pretty substantial touchdown volume, as he's averaged 0.8 touchdowns in games that Dalvin Cook has missed. And Dalvin Cook is likely to get traded or cut considering his contract situation. Yes, he is a great running back. I love Dalvin Cook. But at the same time, if you have Alexander Mattison filling this Dalvin Cook role with almost nobody else in their backfield, I mean, we're talking Kenny and Nguanu, I think that Alexander Mattison is going to be a great running back. And I think at the running back 26 price point, it is just a little bit too cheap. I am predicting Alexander Mattison to finish as the top 10 running back here pre-Dalvin Cook trade. If Dalvin Cook does not get traded, however, of course, Alexander Mattison is not going to be a top 10 back. But I'm drafting him and James Conner a ton here, hoping both of them fulfill my hot takes and both become top 10 running backs. They realistically both have the potential to do it. And I think Alexander Mattison, a great running back in his own right, somebody who has proven he has the talent, and now with Dalvin Cook potentially out of this offense, will have the workload as well. Either way, let's move on to my last hot take, and that is that Jahmyr Gibbs finishes as a top 5 running back this season.
Touchdown, Alabama! Jahmyr Gibbs, what a play!
And this to me feels like a hot take. Jahmyr Gibbs right now is coming off the board as the running back 14 over on Underdog Fantasy, right in between Najee Harris and Ken Walker. So yeah, he's in some good company. But what other good company is he in? For one, this guy was drafted top 15 overall, with the likes of tons of other running backs who were able to finish as top options in the rookie season. We're talking Saquon Barkley, who finished as the running back 1 in PPR scoring in his rookie season. We're talking Ezekiel Elliott, who finished as the running back 2 in PPR and standard scoring in his rookie season. We're talking Leonard Fournette, who finished as the running back 9 in his rookie season. Yes, there are examples where these guys come out and don't finish as RB1s. I mean, we're talking Christian McCaffrey finishing as the RB15 in standard scoring. We're talking Todd Gurley finishing as the RB15 in PPR scoring. But even still, that is a pretty nice floor for Jahmyr Gibbs with a ceiling that he could hit fairly easily. I mean, this is somebody who could come out and have over 100 targets in his rookie season, and I don't think anyone would bat an eye. I mean, he's coming into the DeAndre Swift role, where DeAndre Swift had 78 and 70 targets over the last 2 seasons, despite missing time, and despite the fact that the Lions simply did not really want to use DeAndre Swift as their lead back. Yes, you have David Montgomery here, and that is a concern, especially with vulturing work at the goal line, but at the same time, Jahmyr Gibbs has speed for days and could still be utilized at the goal line pretty substantially, and not only that, could still be utilized as a slot wide receiver at the goal line. So to be honest, I know it's a spicy take, but we could see Jahmyr Gibbs finishing as a top 5 running back this season as a rookie, despite getting late first round buzz, going 12th overall. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a good player and somebody who could finish as a top 5 running back. Either way, that's going to be it from me. Hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, go smash that like button. I am answering every single comment, so if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know down below. And subscribe to the channel. It is the #1 way to support me. It's completely free. It would mean the absolute world to me, guys. With that, though, as always, have a good day, a good night, and a good life.